This is like Texas meets Germany, which is, I guess, kind of Texas already. Today we're making a pit-smoked cabbage wedge with a bacon, mustard, maple vinaigrette. It is a monster hit of a dish. To do it, you take a whole head of cabbage, you core it, you take a stick of butter, you wrap it in bacon, rub the whole thing up in seasonings, stuff that right into the cavity of your cabbage, smoke the whole dang thing, then we'll make a little vinaigrette, cut it into wedges, serve it up, slurp it up, eat it up. This is Don't Panic Pantry with almost nothing coming from your pantry. We're basically just gonna cut a nice big square out of this thing. Any barbecue seasoning you like will work really well. That kind of sugar, salt, spices combination is great for this. You can also just use salt and pepper. First thing I'm gonna do is season up my stick of butter. Then put a little bit right in the core. Well, now we're gonna take our stick of butter here, and we're just gonna wrap this sucker right up like this. And then this guy goes right on in this hole. You can kind of push it down so it fits. A little more seasoning right there. And now we're gonna take this cabbage wedge right here and take some more butter, some softened butter, and just gonna give it a nice little smear all around. And that is going to allow more of our rub to adhere to the outside. Fat helps smoke permeate flavor-wise, like smoke and fat go together really well. All right, that'll do. Usually if you're smoking something else, this is a great thing to throw in there with it. We're gonna be smoking something else for a different recipe for another episode of the show. So we're gonna have them both kind of cook in there. I'd say ideally you could get this thing anywhere between 240 to 275 range is generally a good, nice, sweet smoke range to be in. But after about 2 hours, you get all the smoke flavor you want out of it, and then you can wrap it in foil, finish it in there, or move it into the oven to kind of keep cooking. So now we're gonna make our bacon vinaigrette. First thing we're gonna do is basically take 5 slices of bacon, and we're gonna cut them up into small pieces, and we're just gonna fry it up gently, slowly, to render as much fat out as we can. So then the fat is gonna get used to make the vinaigrette, and then the crispy bacon bits are gonna get sprinkled on top at the end. We got a pot here going over a nice medium-low heat. Bacon goes in, oil. So this is the fat of our vinaigrette, but you need an acid too. We're gonna take mustard seeds and simmer them in apple cider vinegar. And that's gonna bloom those and then make this really fun kind of warm vinaigrette vibe going on. 16 ounces of apple cider vinegar. Let's do 3 tablespoons of mustard seeds right in there. I'm just gonna bring that to a nice simmer, and you'll see what happens, folks. It gets real tasty like. All right, now we're gonna drop it to low, put a lid on it, and let that guy do its thing. This will probably simmer for like 20 minutes. It's probably plenty. And this is the old cook until cooked. All right, so we got about 2 hours of smoke on this cabbage. That is plenty of smoke. So if it's any part of it that's not tender yet, means we can just finish it in the oven. We'll close it up and let it get all nice and juicy. Yeah, that's gonna need some more time in the old oven. Put it in the oven, let it roast for another, I don't know, hour or so until it's real tender. Roll tender. Roll. All right, oven's at 325 to finish the cabbage. Just in case, we're gonna put a sheet pan underneath it just to catch any juices that drip out. Probably like an hour. We'll check it in an hour. Let's take a look-see. Ooh, he feels pretty softy. He's ready to go. And meanwhile, let's make our vinaigrette. So I'm gonna use all the bacon fat, but I'm gonna be adding in vinegar with the mustard seeds and maple syrup to taste with a little bit of salt and maybe some black pepper, just to get it right where we want it. John Food, do you want some mustard seeds? Do you want apple cider vinegar and mustard seeds? Now I want to get as many of these mustard seeds in there as I can. So you're probably looking at like a 3 parts fat to 1 part acid on this, which is your classic vinaigrette ratio. I think a little dab of maple syrup's gonna be nice in there. Let's do a little black pepper in there. I think black pepper is like a really good flavor in anything smoky. A little hit of salt to wake it up. And then if you end up with not enough bacon fat and you want a lot more dressing, you can add in any fat you want. You can use olive oil, whatever else. Just like butter fat, all juiced up in there. Yeah, baby. little hit of black pepper on the top. Boom. Smoky, acidic. It's got like all these flavors coming together. Umami blast. You know, it's not the healthiest way to eat cabbage. There's a lot of bacon fat in there, but it is truly delicious and a really fun way to use your smoker to have meat be an accent versus the primary ingredient. Smokers, they're not just for a whole big chunk of meat. You can also put a head of cabbage in there. Heard it from me, probably not first, but maybe you heard it from me first, but I didn't say it first. But you heard it from me.